I'm a venture capitalist historically. I grew up in the high-tech world in Israel, and 10 years ago I decided to go down a path of looking for maybe a different way of doing business that had a more positive impact on society and doing good and trying to make a profit at the same time. And I ended up basically getting involved in doing social businesses or social enterprises in Israel. And that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years. The platform that I built to do the investments, and what was special about the platform and the direction is we focused on making actual investments into for-profit businesses that had a social mission of employing people at risk. And Dualis, which is the duality of social and business, was the platform. It's a non-for-profit that invests into equity of business and backs entrepreneurs, typically business entrepreneurs, to set up the social enterprises, social businesses. We've started by backing entrepreneurs that wanted to build a business, so greenfield startups typically, that came with an idea of a service industry typically, restaurants, stores, we have some bookkeeping businesses, and that the entrepreneurs, successful business people that have decided that they want to make an activity that is more focused on employing at-risk individuals. And maybe I should give some examples. The area that we focused on the most till date is restaurants that employ youth and youngsters at risk and that learn to be young chefs. The second is an area of retail stores that employ young women at risk in the fashion industry. And maybe one that was more young is an investment that we backed, a lady that set up a business for bookkeeping that employs people with mental disabilities that have studied bookkeeping and have never been able to work. Just to put in perspective, we've done 15 of these investments over the last 10 years, and there's about 500 graduates of the program. Typically, it's no more than a quarter of the employees of the business. So it's not going into regular businesses, it's building businesses from the beginning, which is quite challenging. My top tips for scaling a social enterprise are: first, get your business right and focus on making the business profitable. There's no social program if the business is not successful. The second is build partnerships. Don't work by yourself. Bring on people around the table so you have a good, strong board. Don't be afraid of people with more experience than yourself. That's what you really need to be successful. And find the partnerships, whether it's NGOs or municipalities or other organizations, to help you. The third area is to understand that there's special extra social costs, and it's not only on the social side, but it's actually the social costs are the expense or the time that the management of the business spends on the social program. And it really is a big issue that the businesses that are very young are not focused 100% on the business.